Hi, grade sevens. So we are starting a new theme topic called human rights as stipulated in the South African Constitution. What? Okay, so we are going to, that starts on page 88. Today we're looking at page 88 up to page 94. And basically, the first thing I want to say to you is the one thing I know that you know is that when we talk about human rights, for every right, say it for me, for every right there is you got it, a responsibility. So we're going to look at last year, I think we looked at 6, 7, or 8 human rights. We're going to look at all of these rights that we have and talk about how we can apply those rights in our lives and state those rights and say what your responsibility is because you have that right. We have had practice doing that. Now we're going a little bit more in depth. So I want you, first of all, to, in your books, I want you to write down the terminology from page 89. And so I will just go through those words with you quickly. We have reconciliation, which is a new and friendly relationship with someone that you have argued or had a fight with. Then dignity is respect. Could be respect for yourself or others. Child trafficking is the illegal trade of children, mostly minors, which is not minors in the gold mine, kids below the age of 18. And yeah, I read that so fast, it almost said illegal trade of children for monkeys, but it's illegal trade of children for money. So clearly my eyes need a bit of a rest. Then a quotation is the repetition of words that were said or stated or written by someone else. And when you quote someone or quote from a passage, remember to use inverted commas. Okay. Discriminate is to treat somebody or group of people differently because of a particular characteristic, a crime, or a behavior. Then a violation is a crime or an unacceptable behavior. And let's go off French here, tableau vivant. Tableau vivant, a frozen group statue where your bodies form a picture or photograph in mid-action. So this is something you're going to see on those shadow talent groups on America's Got Talent, X Factor, etc. So a group of people make a statue, and that statue forms the shape of something or an action taking place. All right, now I want you to go to your, we're going to go and look at our textbook. Okay, so before 1994, when South Africa became a democracy, many people had no rights. And due to F.W. de Klerk and Nelson Mandela, who combined won the Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. This is a quote from F.W. de Klerk. Our Constitution is a powerful symbol of reconciliation, justice, and the ending of centuries of conflict. So as a result of our democracy, you as a citizen are entitled to all constitutional rights, and these are summarized in the Bill of Rights. So, for example, the government has to make sure they provide an education for you because you have the right to an education. But what is your matching responsibility? is that you have to attend school, study, try hard to be a success. So you get to be responsible in exchange for the right. Let's go now to the top of page 89. There's your terminology that you are going to write down in your book. Use your colored pens. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so we have first generation rights, second generation rights, and third generation rights. First generation rights are those that were first accepted, and they include your right to life, just basics. Life, equality, dignity, privacy, freedom of expression, association is people that you mix with, opinion, beliefs, religion, and movement, as far as where you live, where you can move to, etc. Second generation rights are rights that form part of the social and economic aspects of life. So the right to water, food, healthcare, housing, and social security, protection against abuse, violence, sexual exploitation, child labor, child trafficking, trafficking, and the right to a name, identity, and nationality. And then third generation rights are the rights that preserve and improve the environment and development, culture, and language. The Bill of Rights is there to protect you as an individual and every other citizen of the country, so that you have the opportunity to develop into a responsible South African citizen. The most outstanding feature of our Constitution is the Bill of Rights. It is a call for society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental, which means basic, human rights. Here's one quote. This Bill of Rights is a cornerstone of democracy in South Africa. It upholds the rights of all people in our country and affirms the democratic values of human dignity, equality, and freedom. Okay, and then there is another quote. Look down this page. We want to not discriminate against other people. We need to show tolerance for others. Okay, respect and dignity for each other's backgrounds, upbringing, etc. Okay, so the Bill of Rights tries to educate South African citizens about what their rights are. They investigate any violations of human rights. Sorry, this is the SAHRC, South African Human Rights Commission. They use the Bill of Rights to conduct research on rights, to give advice to the government, and for protecting human rights. They also monitor what the government does to make sure that all citizens, this is a tongue twister, hey? Citizens have access to socio-economic rights such as a healthy environment, housing, food, water, education, healthcare, and social security. Okay, now with the rights that we are going to name, I want you to look at these examples. First of all, on this page, how can I apply equality? So how can you apply the right in your life of equality? And then what is your responsibility to equality? Now remember, equality means that irrespective of your background, language, culture, and religion, we are all equal under the law. We may be different, but we tolerate differences and we respect and have dignity for others and the differences that they display. Okay, so I'm going to skip past these and just have a look there. These are the paragraphs that you're going to read about the different rights. So what I want you to do is from page 91 to 94, I want you to write a sentence for each of the rights that I'm going to show you. I want you to write a sentence that says, number 1, I have the right to, and then you give the right equality, and the responsibility to, and then you give the responsibility that matches with your right to equality. Okay, then I have the right to freedom of expression and the responsibility to, and then just in that one sentence, explain your responsibility. So I'll need you to read through these rights, and then just your summary will be a sentence for each. My right of parental protection, care, basic health, citizenship, privacy, however you want to say it. I say privacy. And there up to page 94, you will see those. So if you look at page 95, here are your civic and political rights. And there we have equality, human dignity, freedom of security of person, privacy, freedom of religion, belief and opinion, freedom of expression, assembly, demonstration, picket and petition, freedom of association, political rights, citizenship, freedom of movement, freedom of trade, occupation and profession, and labor rights. And then socio-economic rights, right to education, food, health, land, water, environmental rights, right to social security, and a right to housing. But what I want you to do then is just to take those rights mentioned on page 91 to 94. And for those specific ones, I want you to have number 1, number 2, etc. A sentence that starts, I'll say it again, I have the right to such and such, and the responsibility to such and such. So I'm going to repeat what you are going to be doing. You are going to write down your terminology from page 89, new words with their definitions. Okay, your date and heading, your heading can be human rights as stipulated in the Constitution of South Africa. And then you go through those pages with the little paragraphs on how to apply my rights and what my responsibility is for that right, matching that right. And you write a sentence for each, just not of that whole comprehensive list at the end with all the civil rights and all the social and economic rights, just the ones mentioned in the paragraph. Summarize it in each sentence. Okay, and that is the introduction to our human rights as stipulated in the South African Constitution. And the most important document is the Bill of Rights. That is what we are doing today. And yeah, it's basically an exercise in recognizing your rights, recognizing your responsibilities, and it's also an exercise in summarizing. Because I know sometimes I say summarize, and then some of you write 20 lines. And I'm saying the summary is like 3 to 5 lines. In this case, I want your summary to be a sentence. That's it. The summary for each one of those rights talked about, 1 sentence summary, and then you can rule off. So from me, I'm going to say all right, because we're doing rights. Okay, and over and out. Love you lots, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.